In the ongoing saga of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's relationship with the British royal family, a curious phenomenon has emerged: the apparent widespread support for the couple, particularly Meghan, among Americans. This transatlantic divide in public opinion has sparked discussions about cultural differences, racial dynamics, and the evolving perception of monarchy in the modern world. To understand why many Americans side with Meghan Markle against the British royal family, we need to delve into a complex web of factors that shape public opinion in the United States. At the heart of American support for Meghan Markle lies a strong sense of cultural affinity. As a native Californian and former actress, Meghan embodies many aspects of the American experience that resonate with U.S. citizens. Her journey from a middle-class upbringing to Hollywood success, and ultimately to British royalty, reads like a modern fairy tale, a contemporary version of the American dream. This narrative aligns closely with deeply held American values of individualism, self-reliance, and the belief that anyone can achieve success through hard work and determination. Meghan's background as a self-made woman in the entertainment industry, coupled with her lifestyle blog and advocacy work, paints a picture of a relatable figure who has navigated the challenges of fame and success on her own terms. The fact that an American has entered the ranks of one of the world's oldest monarchies is, for many, a source of national pride. It represents a kind of cultural export, a validation of American values and potential on the global stage. This sentiment has undoubtedly contributed to the protective attitude many Americans have adopted towards Meghan in the face of criticism from British media and royal traditionalists. Meghan Markle's biracial heritage has played a significant role in shaping American perceptions of her struggles within the royal family. As the first person of color to marry into the senior ranks of the British monarchy in modern times, Meghan's experiences have been viewed through the lens of America's ongoing reckoning with racial issues. The revelations about concerns within the royal family regarding the potential skin color of Meghan and Harry's first child, as disclosed in their interview with Oprah Winfrey, struck a particularly sensitive chord with many Americans. This incident, along with Meghan's accounts of feeling unsupported and isolated within the royal institution, has been interpreted by many as evidence of systemic racism, a topic that has been at the forefront of American social discourse in recent years. For many Americans, especially those from minority backgrounds, Meghan's struggles represent a familiar narrative of an outsider facing discrimination and microaggressions within a predominantly white, traditional institution. This perception has galvanized support for Meghan, with many viewing her as a symbol of resilience in the face of racial prejudice. Americans have a long-standing cultural affinity for Underdark Stories, and Meghan Markle's narrative fits this archetype in several ways. As an outsider entering the rigid structures of the British monarchy, Meghan has been portrayed, and has sometimes portrayed herself, as someone fighting against an outdated and oppressive system. This framing taps into a deeply ingrained aspect of American cultural identity, the idea of the individual standing up against powerful institutions. It echoes themes from American history, from the Revolutionary War to civil rights movements, where individuals and groups have challenged established powers in pursuit of freedom and equality. Meghan's apparent struggles with mental health during her time as a working royal, and her claims of inadequate support from the institution, have further reinforced this underdog image. Many Americans view her decision to step back from royal duties, along with Prince Harry, as a courageous act of self-preservation and a rejection of an oppressive system. The United States has a robust celebrity culture, and Meghan's background as a Hollywood actress makes her more accessible and familiar to American audiences. The American media's coverage of Meghan has generally been more sympathetic compared to the often harsh treatment she has received from British tabloids. This difference in media portrayal has significantly influenced public perception. American media outlets have often framed Meghan's story as one of triumph over adversity, focusing on her advocacy work and her role as a modernizing force within the royal family. This narrative has been further amplified by social media, where supporters of Meghan have created a strong online presence, often referred to as the Sussex Squad. The couple's high-profile interviews, particularly the one with Oprah Winfrey, have allowed them to share their side of the story directly with the American public. These carefully managed media appearances have effectively shaped the narrative in the US, garnering sympathy and support for their perspective on events. Many Americans view Meghan as a force for modernization within what they perceive as an outdated institution. This perception aligns with American ideals of progress and change, which often value innovation over tradition. Meghan's attempts to bring a more contemporary approach to her royal role, from her fashion choices to her outspoken advocacy on social issues, have been largely applauded by American observers. This clash between modernization and tradition has been a central theme in the narrative surrounding Meghan's time as a working royal. For many Americans, Meghan represents a necessary shake-up of an anachronistic system, bringing fresh perspectives and practices to an institution that is often viewed as resistant to change. Support for Meghan among some Americans may also be rooted in a broader anti-establishment sentiment. The British monarchy, with its hereditary privileges and centuries-old traditions, can be seen as the epitome of entrenched power structures that many Americans instinctively distrust. In this context, Meghan's challenges to royal protocols and her ultimate decision to step back from official duties are viewed as a rejection of elitism and outdated hierarchical systems. This resonates with American values of egalitarianism and the belief that individuals should be judged on their merits rather than their birth or title. Meghan's openness about her mental health struggles during her time as a working royal has struck a chord with many Americans. The US has seen growing awareness and destigmatization efforts around mental health issues in recent years, and Meghan's candid discussions on the topic align with this cultural shift. Her revelations about experiencing suicidal thoughts and feeling unsupported by the royal institution have garnered significant sympathy. Many Americans view her willingness to speak out on these issues as brave and necessary, particularly given the traditionally stoic and private nature of the British royal family. While the factors discussed above contribute to significant American support for Meghan Markle, it's important to note that public opinion in the US is not monolithic. Recent polling data suggests a more complex picture. A YouGov poll showed that while Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have substantial support among Americans, there is also a significant faction with unfavorable views. The same poll indicated that other royals like Prince William and Princess Catherine are actually more popular among Americans. There's a notable political divide, with Democrats being nearly twice as likely as Republicans to view Harry and Meghan favorably. Recent trends suggest a potential decline in the couple's popularity in the US. A Newsweek poll shows Meghan's favorability at 36%, matching that of King Charles III, which represents an improvement for her but still indicates divided opinion. Several factors contribute to this more nuanced picture. 1. Overexposure. The frequent media appearances and revelations by Harry and Meghan may have led to fatigue among some Americans. 2. Perceived hypocrisy. Claims of wanting privacy while engaging in high-profile media projects have drawn criticism from some quarters. 3. Allegations of dishonesty. Some Americans have become skeptical of certain claims made by the couple, particularly when these have been challenged or contradicted by other sources. 4. Respect for the Queen. Many Americans held Queen Elizabeth II in high regard and may have been put off by perceived disrespect towards her or the institution she represented. 5. Changing narratives. As time passes from their initial split from the royal family, the novelty of their story may be wearing off for some, leading to a reassessment of their sympathies. The reasons why many Americans side with Meghan Markle against the British royal family are multifaceted and complex. They encompass cultural affinity, racial identity politics, underdog narratives, media influence, and broader societal trends around mental health awareness and institutional critique. However, it's crucial to recognize that American opinion on this matter is far from uniform. While there is significant support for Meghan and Harry, there are also substantial segments of the population that view them less favorably or are simply indifferent to the royal drama. The complexity of American views on this issue reflects broader societal debates about race, tradition, celebrity culture, and institutional change. It also highlights the power of narrative and media framing in shaping public opinion, as well as the cultural differences that continue to exist between the United States and the United Kingdom. As the story of Meghan, Harry, and their relationship with the royal family continues to unfold, it's likely that American opinions will continue to evolve. What remains clear is that this transatlantic royal saga has touched on deep-seated cultural values and societal issues on both sides of the Atlantic, making it a fascinating case study in contemporary public opinion and cultural dynamics.